Hello, beautiful being. Welcome to In Her Dreams, and welcome to your reading. I am so grateful that you're taking time to tune in to see what messages are flowing in from Spirit for you. Ashe. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, let's see. What needs to be known? What is it that Divine wants to bring to your attention, to your awareness at this time? Thank you, Divine. What's coming through for this beautiful being? Bond. There's healing energy that comes from this bond. I'm getting the energy of Six of Cups. Yeah, this is card 6. 6 of Cups. It feels like very reciprocal. It feels like two beings who ultimately want the same thing. They may be very different, and they may approach something in a very different way. Like, they have the same goal, they have the same desire for the same outcome, but they go about it in completely different ways. But at the end of the day, it's still 6 of Cups. There's also an ability here to work together to achieve a desired outcome. I'm getting that there's a tendency to focus on the differences or the different approaches that either of these people would take, okay? So like if they both have the same desired outcome and they go about getting it in very different ways, there's a tendency to focus on those differences. But I'm being drawn to the beauty of the fact that they both want the same thing. Yeah. These are two beings who want the same thing. There's fear here. I'm getting that some of this fear is projected from another being. So the fear that either one of these individuals feel, which I'm getting that there's fear that both of them feel. Some of the fear that they experience is due to ancestral energies. Okay, so these are fears that have been passed down from previous generations, ancestors who experienced the same fears, and they now stand with you. They want you to work through these energies so that you can all be free. You're purifying your bloodline, both of you, both of these individuals, okay? But some of the fear that is experienced or that these two are feeling is coming from a completely different entity, a whole different being. I'm hearing they've been told to butt out. But they don't wanna. It's just like that what I'm hearing. I don't wanna go. You can't make me. It's a very immature, childish energy. I'm getting that you would think that this person would know better or be able to have more of a sense of control over their emotions and how they live their life, but I just heard don't be fooled by the wrinkles. This could be an older person or a mature person. I mean, I don't know. I think I started getting smile lines when I was 30, so they don't have to be that old, okay? Maybe they like to smile. I don't know. I just heard fake smile. Confirmation. That's Delilah down there shaking. So this could be a person who projects a lot of energy, but it's not real. 5:55 on the timer. This person creates a lot of conflict. They like to see change happen around them as a result of them. So this is a person who, if they see that things are going really well, they'll focus on that situation, that relationship, that couple, and try to upset the vibe and derail whatever it is that they've got going. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing this person put some sort of an obstacle on a train track that causes a collision as soon as the train meets that obstacle. They're trying to derail something. Okay, I want to put them in the same order that they came out. Bond was first, then fear. Yeah, so that speaks to what I was just saying. This bond existed long before this fear came in. So it feels like with this relationship, things were going a lot better than when this person came along and started projecting all this fear. Also, I just noticed there are other people back here. So this person could be employing other people, reeling other people into a situation to try to get them involved, to make things messier, or to make that obstacle on the train tracks even bigger. You know, they want to see a big collision. I'm asking why. I want to know why. Why? Let's see, what deck do I want? Yeah, this one. Yeah, shadows. Why does this person want to see this relationship derailed? Why do they want to do this with this relationship, Divine? Why does this person want to derail this relationship? Okay, these came out in reverse. Restless. They're trying to create a sense of rest. So they're restless. They're unwilling or unable to stay still or be quiet and calm because of anxiety or worry. They have a compulsion to move based on an intense sensation of unease within themselves. Okay. So they suffer from anxiety. They're trying to flip that anxiety around. Hot-headed. Their ability to communicate is affected by the way they react. Okay, there could be fire energy here. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius with this. Look at all that, you know, it looks like fire back there. doesn't have to be a fire sign, but they experience emotional outbursts with little provocation. Their ability to communicate is affected by the way that they react. They're materialistic. They measure their success by the quantity and price of the materials that they buy to help them cope with their inner feelings of discomfort. They buy their way to happiness and think that wealth is the path to permanent fulfillment and well-being. So this person has some compulsive behaviors where they might shop in order to try to work through their feelings. They go off, okay? They're very impulsive with their anger. And I get that this person doesn't want to be alone. So that's why they like to start drama. That's why I saw them like setting a trap on a train track, wanting to see a collision. That's what they've been trying to do between this bond here. Is there anything else that we... Okay, they said no. All right, Spirit. Okay. So they do have shadows, of course. I mean, we all do. But this person is making their shadows everyone else's issue, or at least an issue with this pair here. They're trying to do that. Also, you know, I got that this person is mature in age. So they're at least in their 30s. I've got that. They're at least in their 30s. They are really not satisfied with what they've accomplished at this point in their life. I feel like they've hit a year of 10 recently, either turning 30, turning 40, turning 50, turning 60. I feel like they're early on in whatever decade it is that of their life that they've just recently hit. And so there's this like, oh, I'm not doing enough. Or they're about to approach. So they might be like 58, 59, or, you know, 48, 49, 38, 39, and about to turn 40, 50, 60, whatever. But there's something that's happened in their life. They may have suffered a loss, losing someone that was important to them or that gave them a sense of fulfillment. They may have lost a career. They may have divorced recently, or they may have something in their life that just does not fulfill them. So they might be unhappy in their career. They might be unhappy in a marriage or a relationship. But I feel like this person is very lonely, whether they're attached to someone in a relationship or not. And I say attached because I don't see this person in healthy relationships. Divine, what do we need to know? Okay, they said that's not the one. This one. Okay. What do we need to know about the energy that has been sent towards this relationship, this beautiful bond? It's coming through as very beautiful. What do we need to know about the energy? They said ask first about the energy of the relationship. Ten of Wands. Okay, so there's definitely a lot of burden that's been added. You know, even when things are peachy keen, life is challenging. But then you add other things to it, and it gets even more complex, complicated. You know what I'm getting? Because they said to ask about the actual relationship. So even though there are burdens, it's still victorious with the Six of Wands. And you know what? That's what's a problem for this energy that's coming through as presenting an obstacle, sending negative energy to this union. They hate how your relationship shines. They hate how you overcome obstacles, because this person has observed you get through something really tough. It could be something related to parenthood, something that you went through with a child or with children, because that Ten of Wands, I always see that as like a mama bear card, even though it's like the bear is kind of like on their back, as you know, Ten of Wands is feeling burdened and you're coming out of a time of burden. But bears always lead me to the mama bear energy. It's like protective and don't mess with my babies, you know, that kind of vibe. So there could be a burden here that you and your lover experienced regarding a child or parenting, and you've come through it very successfully. You did something remarkable here with the Six of Wands. You worked together through this. And you achieved a common goal. That's what came through before. Like, that's one of the most beautiful things about this union, is that even though the two of you may be very different, you're able to set your sights on a common goal. You really do want the same thing. You want to achieve the same outcome in your world. Ooh. So at the bottom here, we've got Eight of Wands, Nine of Pentacles, and the Empress. This is really beautiful energy of fertility and abundance. And it's a manifestation that has come about because you're open to it. You're open to receive that energy of change that creates stability. There's something that you've done to create stability in your world. I see this as like a choice that you made that brought in it feels like electric energy. Something that you did to promote your sense of stability and wellness. You've chosen to protect what's yours. It's like you're protecting your territory. I see you protecting your home, but also protecting your own energy with this moon here behind the Empress. It's like you're not going to have anybody up in your energy and messing up your intuition. But that's what I'm getting. Okay, that the Empress card, the way it's laid, is right on top of this Fear card. It's like this being who's been sending negative energy to you in your relationship, they've been doing that through fear, trying to send fear to your intuition, trying to make you doubt yourself. I'm also getting a message that this person wanted you to no longer have fun. They want to interrupt your peace. The peace within you, within yourself, your sense of independence. It's like they want to make you panic. They want to make you fearful about your stability. And they know that if they get to you, then it's only a matter of time before that manifests as an issue within the relationship. They've really tried to get to you. Whoever your person is, this person hasn't done a whole lot to them. They have, let's see individually how they've tried to impact the energy. Let's take a look at both. Oh, that's the Shadow Work card. Yeah, Five of Swords, trying to create conflict. Put this over here. Divine, what is the energy that they've been sending, this problematic entity has been sending to this beautiful being's person? Specifically to their person. Spirit possession. The control or influence over a person's body or mind by a spiritual entity, often affecting behavior or thoughts. So if you've noticed a change in your person's behavior and how they've responded to you, that's a result of this work that's been done. They may have been very tired, very weary, not really wanting to communicate, just kind of giving up on things. Yeah, look at this. I'm getting that the reason it came through that they're not doing much with them, this person, is that they have sent a spirit to like hover over your person, and they kind of leave the work for the spirit to do. You know what I'm saying? It's like they're not constantly sitting there doing rituals over your person. They have put out a contract or created a contract for an entity to, it's almost like a servitor. So some people know about servitors. If you don't, it's basically an entity that is employed by a worker to go out and do their bidding for them, to go out and do a job. It's like giving an entity an assignment, and that's all that they do. And as long as that entity is fed, however it's agreed upon that that entity will be fed, sometimes they might give it offerings at their altar, sometimes they might do rituals or whatever, but as long as they feed that entity, they leave the servitor to serve them. So that's why they've put basically a demon on assignment to impact this person. So I don't want to create any sense of panic or anything, because this can definitely be cleared up, and it does not require a lot of money. It doesn't require like a big expensive ceremony or anything like that. There are cord cuttings that you can do. You can speak protection over your person, and the main thing is to be aware of it and to not fear it, because fear just makes the entity stronger. Okay, so knowing that you have power over this negative energy, and it's important to, if you're going to talk to your person about this, consider your person's view of spirituality. Like if they're not into that or whatever, you can intercede, you can speak energy over your person to cleanse their aura, cleanse their mind, their body, their soul, their spirit from these ties. And the main thing is to know that the work is done. Okay? When you're doing spiritual warfare, you kind of got to be badass. Like honestly, you can't be afraid of these demons, because they're not more powerful than you. They're not more powerful than you. Okay? If you're aligned with divine energy, then they are definitely not powerful. Okay? The only time we give them power is when we fear them. All right? But so let's see what this person is, the energy that they're sending towards you. Okay. Black magic and dark summonings. Okay, black magic to manipulate or control others, causing harm or bringing about misfortune. It often involves rituals or invocations to dark forces, and dark summonings, rituals designed to summon powerful negative energies or spirits with the intent to manipulate or harm others. Okay. You have the power to rebuke this. Okay. There's a lot of information on my channel as far as like meditations that you can do. My ASMR, you can play that as you relax or go to sleep. I'll link a couple of videos that you can use. Also, there's lots of tools on YouTube created by lots of wonderful content creators that you can use as well. Spirit is having me reiterate that there is no sense of panic in the spirit realm regarding this. So you don't need to panic, okay? That's for somebody, because I feel like hearing that, it could be sort of alarming to someone, but I'm getting that you've already been through the worst of this already. With this person already having put all of this energy out there, you've already been through the worst of it. Okay, so let's see what Divine is guiding you to do moving forward. Let's take a look at this love deck. Because the spiritual work, oh look, right time, right place, alignment, divine timing, meant to be. Look at that. Because that's truly it right there. Whatever is destined for you is going to be. It already is. So must it be on all dimensions, okay? There might be something that someone's going to come clean about, but it will reiterate your high value. Look, this is the Empress, self-worth, will not settle, beautiful, sexy, abundant, confident. Okay? It's almost as if what I'm getting from these two cards is that your person is realizing your true value. But also, this is happening because you are realizing your true value. And perhaps that's something that's very good that's coming out of all of this, is that you're realizing your value on a much deeper level. And you're not compromising with that. What's the guidance here, Divine, for this beautiful being regarding their relationship? Okay, spotlight and contemplation. So there's a lot of thought that's been put into what you're going to do. Okay? With this spotlight card, there's definitely someone else who wants the attention. They want to siphon from the energy of your relationship in order to be in the spotlight. Because this is the energy of a narcissist here. And because they want the attention that you get from your person, they hate that. They hate that your person adores you. They hate that your person sees you as the Empress. They hate that your person knows that you are high value. Whatever level of commitment it is that you've received from your person, this person who's trying to interrupt the flow of your union hates that. So what their goal is with all of this dark energy they've sent is they want you to be in this space where you're contemplating, you're feeling like everything is sketchy, you're doubting your connection, your union, seeing things from a completely different perspective. And that's the goal of any dark magician, is to create illusions, because the way they see the world is they see something good and they are just thinking about how to mess it up, how to make it look like what it isn't, which is something bad, something that needs to be changed. This person wants you to feel completely dissatisfied with everything in your life, just so that they can take it away from you. What do we need to know from this, Divine? They don't mind betraying you. So whoever this person is who's trying to interrupt the flow of your love union, they want to betray you, and they want other people to betray you as well, which is the energy that they have been sending to your person. Just trying to cause trouble. Corrupt police officer. There's a corrupt police officer in this situation. I'm getting that for some of you, whoever this person is who's trying to butt into your relationship, they could have been in a relationship with a police officer, or they could have, ooh, and they were corrupt. They could have aligned themselves with a corrupt police officer in order to be able to look up people's records. They wanted to have access to information that they would never have. So they befriended a corrupt police officer. This person is in security or law or something, okay, where they have access to certain records. I'm also getting that they wanted to manipulate information about you. Healing deep wounds from the past. That's what you and your person are doing. You're healing deep wounds from the past. They only keep a lover with dark magic. Yeah. So this person trying to interrupt your union, the only way that they ever have someone attached to them is because they control them with dark magic. They don't naturally attract anything. 3131 on the timer. Yeah. That's the only way that they get someone, is through dark magic. So if you see anyone around this person who is attracted to them, it's because of the dark charm that they are using. And this is something that they've learned to do a long time ago. They've been doing this for a long time. But they use entities to do that. The bodyguard. Yeah, you have a bodyguard. You have protection. You have divine protection. Angelic, I'm hearing. Angelic and ancestral, particularly. And there are ancestors who are looking out for your union because your union is blessed. Now you have to know if this is your reading, okay? But if this is your reading, you have a union that is blessed. It is divine. And it's being healed. And you and your person are healing on an individual level within this relationship. Their whole life revolves around targeting people that they're jealous of. Yeah, exactly, because the Six of Wands came through for you. This is the energy of your love. You and your person make love look really good because it feels good inside of you. So whatever it is that you radiate, it's real. And that's why this person targeted you, is because they know that the love between you is real. They wouldn't bother you if you were fake. That's why there are a lot of people around you, a lot of couples around you that they never targeted. And you may have been like, well, why didn't they target them? Because their love isn't real. 3333 on the timer. They would never mess with those couples, ever. They might use them as flying monkeys, but they would never attack them. They might siphon whatever energy they have, but they would never attack them because they're not jealous of them. This person only attacks people that they feel threatened by. Yep. I'm going to read that one more time. Their whole life revolves around targeting people that they're jealous of. Pride comes before the fall. So whatever arrogance you observe from this person, it will lead to their downfall. And what I'm getting is that their arrogance played out in how they were so sure of being able to take you down and ruin something that is destined for you. They carefully curated each post to deceive other people. So this person, at least at one time, perhaps even still, they value their social media posts, but it's fake. Everything is curated. Everything is carefully crafted in order to project a certain image. Yeah, they're feeling embarrassed now. So this person has arrived to a place in their life where they're having to realize that they targeted the wrong person. They targeted the wrong couple. Let's see why that is. Why is it that this person is feeling embarrassed now, Divine? Well, it seems like they're spending a lot of time getting turned, okay? So they're feeling very guilty about their kinky ways. They're definitely drinking a lot. Let's see what else. Why is it that this person is feeling very guilty? Yeah, they've been red flagged. So people are starting to recognize that this person is trouble. At one time, you may have been the only person who was calling this person out. And that can be very frustrating because with a narcissist who uses dark magic, they've already pulled so many illusions. They've already done that dark magic that they were doing on your relationship. That's not the only place they were projecting that shit. They were sending that negative energy to a whole lot of people in order to fool them about their reputation. But they've been red flagged. And a lot of people are realizing that this person is trouble. And you have to realize that there are a lot of people around this person who are insecure. And so they don't want somebody who is going around causing issues for people in relationships around them. They feel like they're playing with fire. And with this card, it came through that this could be a fire sign. So they don't want to play with fire. Okay? They don't want to play with fire. Why is this person feeling embarrassed, Divine? They've been getting dirty money somehow. They've been using someone to get money. They've been using someone to get money. They've been whining and dining or wanting to be wined and dined because with this person getting money illegally, they don't have the means to wine and dine people. So this is their goal. They've been trying to do this. I'm getting that this person could be using their body to support themselves. Why are they embarrassed? Their whole life is a roller coaster. And I'm getting that they're so emotional to the point where they're starting to tell on themselves. But somebody is spilling the beans here. They've been exposed. People know that this person is a fraud. They also are aware of the fact that this person is emotionally unstable with this roller coaster card coming through. Also, they're seeing a lot of fluctuations in this person. Fluctuations that could be in their weight. That could be in their status, their financial status. You know, maybe they had a car, then they didn't have a car, then they got a different car, and then they didn't have that. You know, it's like things getting repoed. There's just a lot of fluctuations in this person's life that are very obvious now. People are, I heard, collecting evidence on this person. They're collecting evidence on them. I'm also seeing that in the spirit realm, this person leaves behind a trail of dark energy. So anybody around this person who is the slightest bit energetically sensitive, they can pick up on this person's energy because this is something that they were able to hide. It's like with the way that they maintained their spiritual energy at one time, only very intuitive people could pick up on this person's energy signature. So you were either the first person to pick up on this person's true intentions or one of the first people, okay? But early on, you knew who this person was, and other people were just like, oh, they're so wonderful, they're so great. Now, they've been completely red flagged. But one reason for that is not just the signs in the physical realm, but this person has completely leaky, dirty, disgusting energy that is able to be sensed in the spirit realm. And so anybody with a slightly open third eye can sense this about this person. Also, this person has been very lusty, and they've just been wanting to get another person to pay their bills. So they're out there looking for other people to date. And I heard they're looking for other relationships to destroy. So this person, when they're in cuffing season or whatever, trying to get somebody, they look for people who are partnered because they're also sadistic. They like to humiliate people. And so they feel like they're taking care of two things at once, where they're, one, getting somebody to support them financially, and two, they're humiliating someone who is already in that relationship that they're trying to destroy. So they feel like it's a conquest. It's a game for them. I just heard it's not a game anymore, though, because they can't pay their bills. Are they embarrassed? They've been labeled as a black sheep, which in this case they should be a black sheep because they're intentionally causing harm to people. And this is within a connection that they used to consider as a Bonnie and Clyde. Whatever relationship this was that they were in, where they were like somebody's ride or die, they have been labeled as a black sheep. Ooh. Ooh. And this, whoever was the Bonnie or the Clyde, depending on if this is for you a feminine or masculine, whatever. Whoever they were partnered with has gotten the hell out of Dodge. 42 on the timer. They said no more. With that 42, they're seeking protection and balance from this person. They realize that this person is a whole danger. And now, whoever was not seeing your value before, now they see it. Wow. Divine, is there anything else that needs to be known about this situation? What else does this beautiful being need to know? A whole group now knows that you are the star. With this Knight of Swords, there's somebody who's been talking. This could be your person who's been speaking about you. Who is this talking about this person? Yeah, it's somebody who has a new perspective now. You know, with the energy of this person who's been trying to come between your union, I'm hearing that Sade song. Nothing can come between us. Nothing can come. Nothing can come between us. You might want to play that. It's actually kind of a good spell. You know, it's, hey, if you're manifesting healing in your union, it's good. But somebody has had a complete change in perspective. And what I'm getting is that with this negative energy that this person, this witch or warlock is going through, they realize that it does them no good anymore to attack you. So I'm feeling like this energy that they were sending with these dark summonings and the black magic and all of that, that is being released. Yeah, because that's one reason why you have the star here, because there's hope and healing. All right, and there's someone who's now singing your praises. That's the way I see these cards here. With the Knight of Swords, the Three of Pentacles, and the Star. So there's someone who wants to build with you. And there's someone who is speaking well of you. You keep coming through as high value, beautiful, stable. You had the Nine of Pentacles, the Empress card. Well, it's the way the Empress looks in this Tangled Love. Yeah, it's this one. High value. Your value is undeniable. And someone sees that. And whatever dark energy was being sent is like, there is someone here who has refused to be under someone's spell. And that is so important, is awareness. That's why I say, like, as far as spell work is concerned, the number one way to combat it is to see it for what it is. The person that's sending it, see them for who they really are. Don't fear them, but realize that all they want to do is control. And then once you realize that that's who this person is, then you realize there's nothing from this person that I want or need. Why would you want something from a person who tries to control situations through domination and force and evil? So then that person completely loses their value. Meanwhile, you're being seen as what you are. High value. Emperor, Empress energy. And there's somebody who's talking about it. And they're not afraid to talk about it. And they will speak highly of you to other people as well. It's like correcting whatever wrong was done to your reputation, because people now see the truth. And that's one reason why you're able to heal from wounds from the past. Because things are being made right. Yeah, and this being who's going around crying over their former Bonnie and Clyde situation that's now been busted. They're a Nine of Swords. Because they don't know what they're going to do now. They don't know what they're going to do. The way that they have been supported. Okay, this wants to come out. There could be a King of Cups here. Perhaps this energy is a Bonnie and this was their Clyde, and they, I don't know. But there's a King of Cups here who realizes the truth. And they're moving forward. Look at that. They're moving forward in order to bring balance to a situation. Also, you know, this Justice card is about truth. Somebody sees the truth now. It's like whatever energy was being put out there, this person is in such a weak state that they can no longer pull the wool over people's eyes and create illusions, okay? They can't do it anymore. Let's see how you're moving forward. Thank you, Divine. What's coming through for this beautiful being? Okay, communication is there. That's beautiful. So, positive communication that supports healing. What else is coming through for this beautiful being? Connection. Okay. Stay connected with others, nature, and the universe. So other high vibe beings. You're very selective, and that's exactly how you should be. Connect with beings that see you for the high value being that you are. Awareness, yes, you're aware of all that negative energy that was being sent your way. You see it. And that's half the battle right there. Adventure. Adventure is the path to new worlds. So you're experiencing something new. And you have deep insight. Insight is the fruit of wisdom. Keep a learning attitude. All right, I'm going to pull a card for Goddess Hecate. I was guided to do that before we got started. So let's see what's coming through. Ashe, Goddess Hecate. What are you bringing through for this beautiful being? What do they need to know? Stability. Chthonian of the earth. This is card 9, and you already got 9 of Pentacles. So this is your stability. It cannot be shaken. It cannot be taken away from you. That's something that this, I'm going to call him a vampire because that's what it feels like. They were siphoning energy. They were also manipulating energy. But that's what they wanted, was for you to feel shaken up. And they can't do that. They can't shake your love. They can't shake anything that you're supposed to have, you're going to have. The very earth itself tears open amidst quake and storm, shaking reality to its core. And yet Hecate stands, powerful and firm, towering like an ancient oak. Ashe. We can tap into these powers of stability and steadfastness, calling upon Hecate for protection and empowerment. And it is here where we may face our worst fears or discover our deepest potential. But as in all things, we must prove our mettle in the face of the unknown that lurks beneath. Be sure-footed and certain on your path. You've proven your strength. And now you can stand there knowing that you have earned your right to everything that you have in your life. And that no one can take it away from you. You've earned it. It's yours. Ashe. Thank you, Divine. Thank you so much, beautiful being, for tuning in. I'm so glad that you did. I hope that this reading brought you some clarity, some insight, some support, and some good vibes. And what else? Oh, I appreciate you, and I love you. And thank you so much for tuning in. I wish you peace. I wish you joy, and so many blessings. Take care.